Alright, I'm gonna try something different out here because the situation kind of warrants it. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed, but my voice is kind of high-pitched. Some might even call it squeaky at times, especially when I get really excited, like, oh my god, Robin Senpai! Did you see what she did in the last chapter? It was so cool. But no. In this situation, I gotta go with kind of a deeper voice, sort of like a death metal sort of situation, alright? And I don't know if I'm going to do it, because Robin, we're not dealing with your average sexy pirate archaeologist anymore. Oh no, Robin is now... Dearest headphone users, I am writing this letter on a rainy August day to inform you that you may wish to turn down the volume on your electronic device, or perhaps even take out your ear-based hearing devices, for the next scene gets quite loud and I care deeply for your well-being. As always, sincerely, Tekking101. A demon! That's the best I got. I'm sorry. I don't even know if you were able to hear that. My mic probably clipped as hell. But hey, if that did clip really bad and I had to cut it out for whatever reason, just let it be known that that was like Nathan Explosion from Metalocalypse. That was pretty badass right there. Okay. Alright, so last chapter. Chapter 1021 of One Piece. Robin becomes the true devil. Like, not even a demon. Demons are like the minions of devil. No, Robin becomes the damn devil. Alright, what kind of devil? What devil from what religion? All of them! All of them! She's every devil. Remember that episode of Doctor Who where David Tennant, the 10th Doctor, runs across like that planet and it's like Satan is the bottom of the planet and he's like, which Satan are you? There's so many. It's like, all of them. You know, that's Robin! Okay, there we go. So, how, why, what? When did she learn this? Did she just come up with it on the fly? You know, the horns and the fangs and the eyes and the wings and like her entire body was like shrouded in like shadow or silhouette. I'm not really sure if that was just an artistic choice on Oda's part to make it mysterious or if that is actually how she looks, like covering her body with like armament Haki or something. Was it Haki? Was it like an awakening of the Hana no Mi? Like what is going on here? But hey, if anything else, before we get into the explanation on how this works, it looked cool. Alright? You have to imagine Oda drawing that scene. Like, you know, most of that chapter was pretty much just Robin getting punched in the face by Black Maria using her knuckle dusters or brass knuckles or whatever. Is there a difference between knuckle dusters or brass knuckles? I've seen, like, people using them both interchangeably, but then other times, like, people are like, they're separate things. I'm not really sure. Anyway, just pummeling Robin in the face and just blood everywhere. And then it just gets to a point where Robin has had enough of that. And then just, you know what? You want me to become a devil? You keep calling me? That's Black Maria. She keeps calling Robin a devil. Like, you're devil child, Nico Robin. You're such a burden to your crew. You're a burden to everybody. Why don't you just, you know, shut up and die already? And Robin's like, okay, you know what? You want me to be a devil? Okay. And then all of a sudden, we don't, once again, and I mentioned this in the review, we don't actually get a scene where Robin, like, gathers herself and just, like, and then, like, the giant devil emerges behind her like it's a cloned version of her Hana no Mi that she turned into the devil, okay? And we also don't see her changing back into her regular form or the devil disappearing in flower petals that normally works. It might not even be flower petals with this thing. It might be, like, I don't know, a mass of, like, thorns from hell or something. That would be more apt for this thing, okay? So we don't know how she's summoning it or anything, but she's just, like, this is her strongest form. This is the form where you maybe shave away the calm, collected, graceful nature of Robin. This is when Robin is seriously pissed. This is when, you know how every now and then in the story, Robin will have that, like, air about her? Like, a lot of times with the Straw Hats, she's like, you know, she'll tell jokes. A lot of times they're dark jokes, but she will tell jokes, and she's just happy being around them. But every once in a while, like that time at Thriller Bark when Frankie assembled, like, the Tactics 15, you know, all the Straw Hats come together to form a Megazord before they actually had a proper Megazord. And, you know, Chopper and Usopp, and then, you know, there's Zoro and Sanji that were, like, the legs, and then Frankie was, like, the body. Chopper was the head. Usopp was, like, one of the arms, like, making a claw. And then, like, the other arm was missing, and he's like, you know, Robin, you have to dock with us. Come over here. And Robin, it's not a joke for her. It's nothing like that. She's just deadpan, serious, the most serious glare, an icy gaze that could freeze a volcano solid. She just glances over at them and is just like, no, I'm not doing that, okay? And it's like a moment where they're all like, they all get knocked back into their senses, like Zoro and Sanji are like, yeah, that's right, why are we doing this? We're not like that, Robin, we're cool, you know? We're not turning into a Megazord over here. So, that's Robin, like, just a glimmer of when she's really genuinely annoyed or pissed off at somebody, right? Okay? And that's just with her friends. She wasn't actually going to like murder Frankie in that one particular instance or anything, but she was really, really annoyed by it, and she was like, no, I'm not doing that or whatever. No, this is Robin unabashed rage. Alright, made manifest in the form of the damn Chernabog from Fantasia. A lot of people were making that reference to Fantasia. I've never watched Fantasia. There was a few different versions of it, like an original. I think there was another one in like around the year 2000. There was probably another one since then. I've never seen Fantasia, but looking at the Chernabog of Bald Mountain, or like the devil or Satan, whatever you, Lucifer, whatever you want to call this thing, yeah, the similarities are definitely there. I can imagine Oda maybe taking some references from Fantasia when designing this devil form that Robin has, the Demonio, okay? So, yeah, when Robin just, like, literally can't keep up, like, the sort of patience or whatever anymore, that's when this thing emerges. And it's also sort of like a last-ditch, ability, where it's like, okay, if I'm going to finish off an enemy and I'm going to finish them off quickly, I have to bring this thing out, okay? And of course, it's very exhausting. We already know that because after the fight was over, after Black Maria basically got her neck snapped by the Demonio and just tossed aside, Robin, we just see a scene where Robin is like about to collapse, and then Brooke helps her up, okay? Once again, we don't see the scene where the demon like disappears and Robin is like, whew, that took a lot out of me. No, it's literally just the demon just snaps Black Maria's neck or her back or whatever, throws her aside, and then cut to a scene transition a couple of minutes later, and then Robin's just about to pass out. And we don't even see a close-up of her, like maybe her facial expressions changed or she has injuries or whatever. We just see her from a distance falling down and then Brooke helping her up, and then that's it. Alright, so I'm assuming the fight with Black Maria is over now, but there's still a lot of questions that need answered. Alright, so let's start with a lot of things. Let's start with a lot of things. Let's start with everything. Okay, so first off, the strength and endurance of this thing. So Robin already created a giant woman version of herself earlier in this battle, okay? She made like just a giant regular clone of herself. She was naked in the process, but whatever. Made a giant naked form of herself behind her, and then all of the arms came out of the ground and they attacked Black Maria, okay? But they were still relatively as strong as Robin was, just, they're larger, so they're going to have more of a punch that way, but they weren't able to defeat Black Maria. Maria could use all of her, sticky spider webs to restrain her, and, Robin was captured in the net, and then Black Maria just, could go to town punching her, okay? So it didn't seem like that regular clone, that even the giant version of the clone that she's able to make normally, that we knew she could do, was capable of breaking out of that, okay? The devil form was. So already, we don't know a lot about this form, but we know already it is way stronger and has way more endurance than any other ability Robin is capable of. It might even have some sort of like short-term recovery process where, when she summons the Demonio, when she summons the demon form of herself, maybe all of her injuries, or maybe she can't feel pain for the duration. She can't keep it active for very long. That's very abundantly clear. Maybe only a few minutes. Hell, maybe even only like 10, 20 seconds she can use this form. But while she's in this form, she gets a huge strength boost, an endurance boost, and she can't feel pain, or any injury she has is sort of just put on, the back burner for that moment while she activates this devil thing, okay? And that would make sense given the fact, like, it's a demon, it feeds maybe off of rage or negative emotions, so, it's not something she can just use. Alright, like, she's going up against a random member of the Beast Pirates, or like Hammond or somebody from the New Fishman Pirates. Remember when she fought Hammond? Okay? I don't think Robin felt any, like, severe animosity or hatred for Hammond. He was just an enemy, just a generic enemy. He was part of the New Fishman Pirates. They're trying to, kill everybody there, so it's just like, okay, well, I'm gonna fight him, okay, and then that's it, right? No, she genuinely hated Maria. Alright, genuinely, she had enough of Maria, just not even just bad-talking Robin, but also Sanji and all of the Straw Hats, and she just kept doing it over and over again. And so Robin felt like genuine rage. And Robin usually, like I said, there's the squeak right there, Robin usually is very calm. Even when met with an enemy that really pisses her off, she can usually get through that battle with like a sort of calm demeanor about her. She's very graceful, as I said, okay? But when it comes to things like rage and anger and hatred and all these like negative emotions, Robin is not very good at expressing that sort of stuff. Remember, Robin was also an assassin for much of her life, and so she sort of has like an actress skill set where she can like maintain like, you know, a certain expression even though she's feeling something else, and she's not good at conveying hatred and rage in a healthy manner. All right, so it just builds up inside of her. You could tell it was bothering her during the fight, but, you know, she didn't let it show on her face until finally it just exploded. How about that? What if it wasn't a conscious choice? What if Robin actually did not want to summon Demonio? What if it wasn't a situation where it's like, I'm not going to let that demon out, but it got out anyway because she's just had enough. She couldn't suppress it anymore, and then the demon just emerged, and... you know, it might be a situation, like I said in the review, where she's kind of like a Titan shifter, where Robin, like, summons her limbs around her like a cocoon or something, and then it forms the demon body around her, and then that's when she fights with Black Maria and, like, breaks her back or whatever, and then the demon, like, disappears in, like, the briar of thorns, and then Robin is there, and then she falls down, or something like that. Or if they are still petals, they're, like, you know, like a dying rose, like the black rose petals or something, disappear from the visage of the devil, and then she falls out from that, you know, very artistically and whatnot, right? But what if it wasn't a decision? What if it's like she knows she has this literal demon inside of her? It's not like a thing like with Bleach or anything like that, like Ichigo has his inner hollow or something, or like Asta and the devil. It's nothing like that. It's not like, you know, an actual other entity that lives inside of her that's speaking to her. I mean, she does have a devil fruit. Oh my god! Holy shit! Oh! Okay, let me finish my one thought before we get to that. Oh my god. Okay. My initial thought was like, the devil, if it does exist in her, it's like her subconscious. All right, like Robin's subconscious is like whispering in her ear, just like, you know, this enemy, this Tobiropo, you know, she does not respect your friends. She doesn't care about the Straw Hats. Murder her. Just go crazy. You know, you're Nico Robin. You could turn into a giant devil and just like rip her apart. Just do it. And then Robin's like, no, I must not do that. And then finally she's just had enough and just like, okay, fine, roar, and then just attacks Black Maria. Okay, that was my initial thought. My other thought that I just came up with. We just talked about this a couple weeks ago. So the scene at Eni's lobby, when Jabra was like really genuinely afraid that like the devil fruits had real active devils in them, and then the devils popped out and would like attack each other if they got close. Remember that when Kaku was about to eat his devil fruit and Jabra was like freaking out, like, I don't want anything to do with that. You know, your devil's gonna pop out and fight my devil, and then our bodies are gonna explode. Now, that's clearly not what happens, obviously. We've seen plenty of devil fruit users come in contact with each other. You know, devils don't literally come out. But Blue and O afterwards says like, well, obviously we understand that devils do not jump out and attack each other, but when it comes to whether or not devils are actually involved with these devil fruits, well, we really can't say anything about that. There's no evidence from one way or the other, right? And we know, the thing is, when I just made this video a couple weeks ago, we know devil fruits... Okay, I guess we don't know this, but it's my headcanon. Devil fruits have to have some level of sentience, because, like, there's devil fruits that exist with, like, modern human concepts. Like, for example, like, I used Osuru's wash fruit. Like, it's the literal devil fruit that embodies the concept of laundry, which is not, like, a naturally occurring concept, okay? That was something humans created. The Buki no Mi that Baby 5 has is another example. The jacket fruit, the one that everybody always makes fun of, but, like, jackets do not naturally exist in nature, okay? You know, it's like jacket, that's a thing, that's tailored. Humans create, there's zippers on the damn thing, for God's sake, that, like, Bobby and Kelly Funk use. There's a zipper, okay? Zippers, a human invention, okay? So, it would make sense if devil fruits had some level of sentience whenever human beings create a new concept or a new tool or a new piece of technology. There is a corresponding devil fruit that embodies that tool or that concept, okay? And then boom. I also threw out the idea, like, what if there's a devil fruit that, like, if nuclear power was invented in One Piece, then there would be a devil fruit that embodies, atomic energy or atomic power. Something like that could exist, all right? But it has to be invented first. If every devil fruit has, like, a small amount of sentience, like a real devil living inside of it, and then it's like, oh, humans invented this, let's create another fruit, blossoms. As soon as humans invented guns, Baby Five's Buki Buki no Mi, like, grew on a vine somewhere. Something like that. It's possible, okay? But now Robin is quite literally becoming a devil. What if... Okay, we are kind of crossing over into Black Clover territory here. I'm shotgunning it at this point, guys. I don't know. Okay, I had more stuff to talk about, too, but now we're going off on, like, a completely different road. All right. What if, in order to awaken your devil fruit, let's say there's actual devils that live inside of your fruit. They don't have the ability to actually influence you like Ichigo's Inner Hollow or like Asta's devil or anything like that, but they exist there and they kind of coexist within you. And it's more of like they exist within the fruit's power. So they don't really care about the host, they don't really care. It's just like, when you die, my power will be reincarnated into a fruit and then somebody else will eat it, then I'll live in them and then I'll reincarnate again, and that's just how these devils exist, okay? But what if, every once in a while, if you have the devil fruit for a long period of time, and maybe you can communicate with that devil, maybe it's like coming to an arrangement with your devil fruit, making a deal with your devil, that's how you become awakened, all right? And Doflamingo and Katakuri, those characters are both awakened, and they seem to be like the kind of characters that would definitely make a deal with a devil. Doflamingo because he's, the heavenly demon, there you go. And then also Katakuri. Katakuri was always obsessed with, being perfect, being the perfect big brother of the Charlotte family. If a devil appeared in front of Katakuri, like, I can make your abilities truly perfect. I can make you the most powerful, warrior if you awaken the Mochi Mochi no Mi. Katakuri would definitely make that deal. Even Gil Tesoro from Film Gold, not canon, but, he had the awakened gold fruit, all the past and all the crap he went through with the celestial dragons and everything, he would probably make that deal as well. Maybe that's the situation. Now, what would the deal, like, what would that involve? What would that pertain to? Like the Faustian contract you're making with your devil fruit? I don't know. Maybe it might be like your life force or something, like we're playing by Death Note rules now. It's like, okay, tell you what, I'll give you the ability to awaken the string fruit, or the Mochi Mochi no Mi, or the gold fruit, or the Hana Hana no Mi. I'll give you the ability to awaken those true powers, but in exchange for that, I gotta take part of your life essence, or your aura, or your soul, or something. If that's the case, maybe it's like, I'll give you some of my life energy, and then when the fruit is reincarnated, it's therefore stronger the next time it's reincarnated. Maybe the whole game is like, oh, devils are weakened forms of like actual demons and devils from hell, and they live in these fruits, and in order to be truly reincarnated and brought back into the world, they need to absorb life energy over the course of several hundred, maybe several thousand years from all the previous owners of their fruits, and they make this contract, like, tell you what, you give me more energy than necessary, and then I'm closer to being reincarnated, and also in the process, you have access to all of my power. Did anything I just say make any sense to anybody? I don't know. All right. I also feel like, One Piece has been around for a very long time. They're called devil fruits. Somebody probably at some point has come up with the idea. Maybe they're actual devils with a contract, but it just hit me just now with the Demonio and Robin turning into a literal devil. Her title as a child was like Akuma, demon child or devil child Robin. I always thought Akuma just literally translated to devil in Japanese. I looked it up in the dictionary. It really is just devil or demon. They are kind of interchangeable, but still, like, it's clearly there. Like, I thought Oda was just going with that. Like, oh, okay, Robin was always called the devil child, and now she actually became a devil. There's, parallel symbolism to this when she has the wings, like a Thriller bark, and she's like, oh, Robin is an angel, but in actuality, her real form is a devil. Maybe she's both. Robin is both. She can be an angel or she can be a devil whenever she so desires, okay? But anyway, that was that was a theory that just popped into my damn head, so let me know how you feel about that, but we still got stuff to talk about here. Shape-shifting. Alright, so I brought this up in the review, right? Robin, whenever she creates a large form of herself, whether it be a giant arm or a giant leg or a giant, like, actual clone of herself, she basically does that by molding smaller limbs together. She took, like, 1,000 arms together to make one giant arm, alright? That's like her mille fleur, right? Okay. So if that's the case, she can pretty much shapeshift into whatever she wants, and maybe if she gets better control over her Hana Hana no Mi, maybe an awakening, maybe not like to that extent, but like whatever, you'd assume she'd be able to make anything. So the fact that she has horns and wings, like that doesn't freak me out so much. Even the fangs really don't. The eyes and just the overall appearance, like Oda really went overboard to show the audience that this form Robin's going into, Demonio, it is not the same thing as what she's been doing up until now by just summoning limbs and making bigger limbs out of the smaller limbs. No. This is something else. This is another form. Alright? So, I think, yeah, Robin is capable of shape-shifting. You know, we've already kind of seen that. Like, she can give herself, like, wings and stuff, horns, fine. But, like, no, I think this, I'm going along with the more of an idea, like, this is her, repressed rage brought manifest. And it wasn't like she made a bunch of limbs to form this devil. No, she literally just summoned this devil. Also, when Robin summoned the giant form of herself, like at the beginning of the chapter, just the regular form she had, when Black Maria punched it in the face, it like disappeared into a mass of flower petals. Alright, which kind of implies, that's what happens when all of her limbs disappear. That kind of implies that she just summoned that thing as like a giant clone. It just takes a lot out of her to do that, okay? Or another way to look at it is maybe just like, it might be easier for her to make like a bunch of limbs into one limb or something of that nature, and like making like a giant limb out of nowhere, that's harder for her to do. It has to take more concentration. I'm not really sure how it works. But Oda's definitely trying to go with something different with this Demonio kind of shit. Alright, so in that case, maybe the demon just appeared in like the black rose petals and just emerged and then, you know, attacked Black Maria, defeated her or killed her or whatever, and then at that point just disappeared, and then Robin was inside and she fell down and like Brooke picked her up, okay? And that was basically how that fight ended. Still so much questions we have to ask about that, but man, yeah, the fact she turns into a devil, they're called devil fruits, I mean, it's kind of on the nose right there, but let's roll with it. Why not, right? It's One Piece, okay? You know, the Gumu Gumu no Mi is pretty relevant at this point, so just keep on going along. Hell, if we're going with that actual concept of there being devils in the fruits, maybe that's the reason the Gumu Gumu no Mi is so important. Like, there's a special devil that was like Joy Boy's devil, or like the reincarnated form of Joy Boy. I don't know. What if, like, all the former members of the D-Clan, maybe the D-Clan back during the Void Century were like, you know, there were hundreds of them. We like to think of the D-Clan, at least I always thought of the D-Clan as like a resistance movement, like maybe only like a few dozen members, but who knows, maybe they were like a massive family, like they were an army, or they were the inhabitants of the Ancient Kingdom. Everybody that lived at the Ancient Kingdom, you know, hundreds and maybe thousands of people were all members of the D-Clan, and then they all died and they got reincarnated into devil fruits. We're riding on this this theory train, just choo-choo, just stay on that, right? Alright, well anyway, that's the video. That's what I got for you guys. Let me know below on some of that stuff. Yeah, I gotta think about that. I didn't even really mention Haki. I mean, like, you know, she either has it or she doesn't. Like, she has Fishman Karate now. That's pretty cool. Armament Haki, though, I mean, like, would you really even be surprised if Robin could have that? Like, I'm not, like, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, she's like 30 years old. She's fighting pretty much her entire life. She trained with the revolutionaries for the last 2 years. Sabo has the Dragon Claw technique, you know, and he's got Armament Haki with that. So, you know, I'm sure Robin might have some concept of Haki even before that, and then Sabo could have taught her how to actually use it, and then boom, she has Armament Haki now. If you want to add that on top of the Demonio form, go ahead, go for it. You know, it's not like Black Maria was a Logia or anything, but, you know, in order to defeat her, you know, using Haki would just make sense, because that would pack more of a punch. But, yeah, I'm not even, like, super surprised by that. Like, it's like, oh, it was Armament Haki the whole time. Like, that's why she was in silhouette. I'm like, alright, fine, whatever, that makes sense. But I have way more questions now than just, like, she using Armament Haki, okay? Way more questions. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. This'll be Tekking, this'll be Barry, signing out. I need to figure some stuff out here. Oh, man.